Anson, hello, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Doing great. I heard you were making a cup of tea and I have a cup of coffee, so I
I
love it.
actually decided that I didn't have enough time to make a cup of tea, so I'm gonna run and get one just after this. But I'm fine, don't worry. I'm teed out. I've had quite a few today.
Oh my gosh, okay, I was gonna say, please help yourself. It's totally fine.
Thank
I'm so glad that I get to speak to you about Blackbird, and I didn't realize it was actually filmed 2 years ago. And so has it been like a lot of anticipation, like when is this gonna come out? Because sometimes movies, come out like a year after, but this has been 2 full years basically.
Yeah, it's certainly a lot of anticipation because, as well, I mean, I was so excited for everyone in my family to see it because it was such a
Mhm.
sort of pivotal part of my life filming that and a really important film. And I wanted everyone to see it, but also kind of for work opportunities because, this really exciting film with a bunch of great actors. I wanted everyone in the industry to be able to see it and sort of add that to my CV, if you know what I mean. Because it's easy to put something on your CV, but when it's not, materialized and it's not actually been seen by people yet, it kind of doesn't feel real. So it's nice now that people will finally get to see it and enjoy it.
Exactly. It's almost like agencies or directors want like proof. Obviously you've done it, but they also want to see the finished tangible product. So, it's going to be out for people in 8 days. Well, I'm sure directors and agents, already have seen the trailer and stuff, but people will be able to see you not as a newcomer, by the way. I know that you are kind of a newcomer to the scene, but I would have had absolutely no idea. Your role just blended perfectly. I thought you were the perfect fit. My favorite scene, without giving anything away, is like the rap slash poetry you do.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you liked that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, at least I've got something to fall back on. I have a career in rapping. If that's
yeah,
a
it
little
was.
teaser for people that haven't seen the film yet, you'll see I have a career in rapping if the acting doesn't quite work out.
Yes, exactly. Such good beats. The rhymes were on point, so great job there as well.
So much.
And obviously it's going to be released, at least in America, a bit differently than we would have anticipated. But at the same time, it's still going to be available to, the mass audiences, in 8 days. Whenever I upload this, will probably be exactly a week. But why do you think it's important for movies like this to exist for, anyone to consume?
Mm, absolutely, yeah. I mean, what I would really love people to take away from it is family. You can't pick them, and sometimes they're all you've got. So we have to cherish them while they're still here. I have a great relationship with my grandparents and my mum and my aunties and my dad and everyone. So it was, I mean, when I first read the script, I felt that it was something I would really easily slot into because I have such a good relationship with my family. And I think I just want to, I mean, there's a whole thing in the film, you'll see that you don't really see phones that much. And I hope this film sort of reminds people to sort of look at the real things in life and just celebrate life and enjoy life and put the screen down sometimes.
Yeah. I didn't even realize that. That's a great like secondary, like almost like subliminal message.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
you're all like at the table just like giving thanks and reminiscing, and it's like there's no phones in sight. I didn't even realize that, but now
Yeah,
I do, and now I'm going to consciously be able to see that. So yeah, great point you caught on
cheers.
to. So yeah, the movie, again, the trailer's out, so I'll try to not give too much away, but you kind of covered it. I think that it deals with illness in a very, what's the word, accessible way.
Mm,
It allows people to see that all families have some connection to illness, even if it's, your grandma or someone that isn't like in your immediate like family. So I think the film beautifully portrayed just a celebration of life. Do you think that message also is something very important?
absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's kind of, on face value, a very dark film and very difficult and tricky to watch and a tearjerker. But at the same time, we had the best time making it. And in a weird way, we kind of found that in the darkest moments, you start laughing and you find moments of light and beauty and stuff. And that's what I hope people see. And I don't think we ever anticipated the humor that we would find in, really horrible scenarios that we get plunged into in this film. But yes, I mean, I remember a moment in the rehearsal week that we had in London where Susan was kind of trying on all the different equipment that people that suffer with ALS had, and just sort of us going through that like a family would, and like experiencing her putting stuff on upside down and stuff, and you in this sort of like really horrible way, you find ways to just celebrate life with each other.
Exactly. It's
Yeah,
definitely, at least for me, I think it's almost a coping mechanism.
yeah,
Find the humor and those little things. And I also think it's so powerful that the illness that this film decided to portray is it's very rare. I think that a lot of times films that portray illness, it's something that is very well known, but I
Mm.
didn't even realize ALS was the same as Lou Gehrig's until I looked it up. So it's
Yeah,
even like having that, like you're gonna yield like Google searches to
yeah,
the
yeah. Raise awareness for that as well, which is another a whole other thing that is a great thing that should come out of this film.
yeah, yeah, and it definitely will. I mean, I'm one person and I Googled it, so I'm sure other people will as well.
Excellent.
And I think it's powerful to portray these illnesses that we might not think to. So before the film, were you aware of ALS, or were you given any like rundown? How did that work? I've always wondered that, like when you're dealing with serious things, like what do they fill you in on, so to speak?
Yeah, well, not I was had no particular great knowledge on it, but like I said, we did this rehearsal week in London before we started shooting, and we kind of had visitors come in and speak to us who had personal accounts on dealing with this illness and stuff like that. And we had a nurse of terminally ill people come in and speak to us, and she said something which really stuck with me throughout filming, which was often when families go through this, they shove the youngest people to one side and they don't think that they can hack it or process it or handle it. It's too difficult for them. But almost always in every case, the young people deal with it the most rationally and the best, because they have this new perspective of it when they're pushed to the outside, where they're on the outside looking in and watching the adults go crazy and deal with it really badly and find it really difficult. And then they come into it and it's like they just want to celebrate the last moments they have with this person, and they think about it really logically. And I certainly think my character Jonathan does that. And yeah, that's something that I really bear in mind when I was filming.
Definitely. And yeah, I think, with anything, kids are sometimes, not given enough credit. I really think that. And that's not just because I was a kid a few years ago. Um, but I think that, yeah, we are so quick to like hide things from kids
Yeah, absolutely.
that are sad. And I think obviously there should be some sheltering in place for like, some specific issues. You don't want to tell a 5-year-old like the all the details about ALS, but that's more because like they might not truly understand it. But
Yeah,
you
of
can of
course.
course say like it's gonna cause your grandma, to get tired. She might not be able to walk a lot, like if we go on a hike. So explaining it in ways that they can relate to is important. And I think the movie did that too. Like, we got the education just from anecdotes rather than like this is what it is, this is how it works. So I think that's also very powerful.
Yeah, oh good. I'm glad you thought that. In many ways, I think my character Jonathan is the audience's eyes into it, because he's sort of going through it without any knowledge like the rest of them. And then when it's explained to Jonathan, it's explained to the audience. So I'm glad you picked up on that.
Yeah, no, I totally did. I feel like we're on the same page for sure. And okay, I have to give a shout out to Bex. I have known Bex for I think 6 years. So I just have to ask, how was it working with them? They're amazing. So talented. I'm like always
Yeah.
blown away.
Yeah, they are so talented. Well, I remember on our first day of rehearsals, I walked into the rehearsal room and obviously I was confronted with these incredible actors who I had admired for all these years. And I looked over to the other side of the room, and Bex, who is an incredible actor in their own right, was stood there sort of, and I could read their faces, see that they were experiencing all the same thoughts and feelings as I was. And we just kind of looked at each other and just did the nod. And then approached each other and just we were like, what is going on? This is crazy. And then we definitely formed this kind of really young, playful relationship, which I hope translates onto the screen, like you see us playing soccer together and stuff like that. And yeah, and I was texting them last night. We keep in contact all the time, but we all do on that film. We just had the most incredible sort of bonding experience.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, I had to ask, like, because whenever someone's in a film with them, I always ask, and the stories are always great. So I was like, this will be no different. You're gonna have an awesome story.
Yeah.
And how cool that you've been able to keep in touch with the entire cast. And something I was wondering, and you might not even like know the answer to this, but obviously we're doing like virtual press and stuff. Was there a premiere set in place, or if not, what would you have envisioned for like a red carpet premiere?
Well, we premiered at the London Film Festival. Oh, we didn't premiere, but the UK premiere was at the London Film Festival last year. and I was working just down the road from where the premiere was at the time on the River Thames, and that was really nice because it was Lindsay Duncan could be there, and Roger Michelle, the director, would be there, all the UK-based cast, so we could all come together, and that was really nice. But I suppose if I was to sort of think of the perfect premiere for this, it would probably be in New York because that's where Susan, sort of the matriarch of the film, is based, and it's supposed to take place in Long Island or somewhere like that. We've done the UK now, and and it would just be a reunion for all of us. I don't think it needs to be the biggest thing ever because it's a very quiet, small film that sort of documents what goes on over 3 days. So a very intimate affair, just with a celebration of the cast and the director and everything. That would be really nice, just to get the band back together, if you like.
Yes, like any excuse to get you back together all in person would be
Yeah,
amazing. But unfortunately that's not possible, at least here. I mean, all that stuff is still on hold, but it's for good reason. And I'm so happy that we've been able to transition to these on-demand movies, or just buying online, or maybe waiting. I really hope that when movie theaters open back up again, that all the movies that weren't in theaters, they just like have them all there for like
yeah,
a week or something, because there's something
absolutely.
about seeing it on the big screen. There just is.
Oh, of course, yeah, it's completely different, isn't it? Being in that dark room with the huge screen and having the sound all around you and stuff. It's just, and with other people enjoying it. Yeah, I completely agree. Hopefully, the cinemas are just bombarded with films when it's safe to go back.
Yeah, I wonder if there's got to be some theaters that are looking into that. There has to be. I'm gonna research that
Well,
because
I've been going to my cinemas around me quite a lot, and they're doing a lot of throwback films. So I went to see, I did Inception, I watched the Dark Knight trilogy. They've been showing like The Shining, Back to the Future, stuff like that. So that's been cool.
oh my gosh,
I
I'm so
was too
jealous.
young to experience in the theaters when they were in the theaters at the time. You know.
Oh, that is such a brilliant idea. America, please listen to this interview and
Yeah.
incorporate it into our movie theaters when they're back open. um, and I just wanted to touch a little bit on your other projects. This was kind of the springboard, so to speak, for you. You've done a couple movies in the past, but this is really the one where you're heavily featured and you're with an all-star cast. But you're also with an all-star cast with The Winter Lake, which I am so excited for. So great. So yeah, I'm so happy that you're able to have that. And do you have anything else in the works, that it might be on hold, but anything you can tease for us?
Yeah, there's. I mean, like you say, everything's on hold at the moment. I'm afraid I can't talk about anything. I feel like a secret agent when I say that, but everything is top secret at the minute, as it always seems to be the way lately. But yeah, so you'll just have to wait and see. But keep your eyes pierced because there should be some exciting stuff happening.
We will. And the fact that you can't talk about something means there is indeed something happening. So you already kind of gave us a hint. I
Yeah.
tricked you there. No, I'm just kidding. um and yeah, if you just want to give a little like plug or call to action, so to speak, about the movie, just like, hey, I'm Anson, I play Jonathan, and then just say where people can watch it on September 18th, just so we can bring it in.
Sure. So, hi, my name's Anson Boon, and I played Jonathan in the film Blackbird, and you can watch that on the 18th of September on video on demand.
So excited. Yeah, I'll definitely have to do like a premiere with my own family.
Yeah, do that. Yeah, you
uh,
should watch it with your family.
yeah, it's such a great family movie, again, because it opens up conversations. If you have a 5-year-old, if you have an 18-year-old, they're inevitably probably going to have questions, and it's important to have parents there, to kind of guide those conversations, make sure
Absolutely.
they're being sensitive, but also, not shying away. So yeah, I'm so excited for it. And then the last thing I wanted to ask is, are you on social media? I spent like 30 minutes trying to find you on Instagram and I couldn't. So are you just not
I,
on?
no, I just don't do it. It's just not for me. Yeah, I like to just be. I just like to live in the real world sometimes, and I like. Yeah, I look at things online as much as other people, but no, I'm not really a social media person.
Okay, I just wasn't sure. Well, I guess then people can follow. I think the Blackbird, the movie studio, has an Instagram for updates. I can't remember what it is, but I'll link it in the description. Um, yeah, and I have to ask one more follow-up if you're okay with that. Do you think, because in America with social media, it's almost like part of your resume. People look at who you know. They look at how many followers you have, and you know, it's unfortunate because that shouldn't matter. Do you experience that in the UK? Do people ever ask, well, where's your Instagram?
No, not really, to be honest. No, I haven't really had that. I mean, I guess it's probably more of a question with like major, I don't know, major studios, like when you get right to the top sort of thing, I imagine. But I have no knowledge of that, to be honest with you. No, luckily for me so far, it's just all been about the acting. So
No,
that's yeah.
that's great. America has so many things to learn from you. I'm sorry, I'm like generalizing America, but you get what I mean. I hope.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
Yeah, we gotta work on not using social media and also doing throwback movies in the cinemas. So
Yeah, do that. Yeah, definitely the throwback movies.
yes, oh, that's awesome. Well, Anson, thank you so, so much. It was so great talking to you. I'm glad we were able to work this out. And yeah, everyone tune in September 18th or later. Obviously, it's not going anywhere. To see Anson and Blackbird along with an awesome, awesome cast. And yeah, thank you. If you're ever in LA and it's safe, there's no more lockdown, I'd love to do something in person. So
Absolutely, yeah, perfect. Thanks for having me, and
of
hopefully we'll arrange that.
of course, and enjoy your tea.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Have a good one.